really good article up called "Who's to Blame for the Public's Plummeting Trust in the Media." I think it's a variety of factors, but one person who's been looking at this and pondering this as part of his work with his democracy project is Bryce Edwards, a political lecturer at Victoria University, and Bryce joins us now. How are you, Bryce?
Oh, I'm pretty good, Sean. I mean, it's never good news having declining trusts from the public and everything, and media.
You're not mainstream, Bryce. You're not part of this, are you?
Look, I think it does reflect on the rest of us as well. I think that
I don't. I feel like I'm trusted. I wasn't in the survey, actually, so neither were you. So we can say it's not a reflection on our work.
Look, I would like to say that, and that might be true. I mean,
it's a fact. It doesn't matter whether it might be true. It's a fact, Bryce. We weren't in the survey.
I think everyone gets a bit tarnished by this, regardless of whether we're in the survey or not. People just think that media isn't like it used to be, and it's a lot of us are just putting out our opinions, our reckons, and we're biased, and we're pretending to be things we're not. And unfortunately, I think you and I do fall into that.
Well, if that's a cross you want to bear, I'm not. Look, I just read out a text. Paddy Gower said this morning when it was put to him by Rip Jeans, can't afford a raise, and Mike Hoskins, that, there was some criticism, they went woke and went broke, etc. Paddy Gower's response, get stuff, go away and use your own research. That sort of arrogance and the turning off of comments, Bryce, I would say the refusal to engage and be self-critical is part of the problem with mainstream media.
Yeah. Oh, look, absolutely. So there's this famous quote from Arthur Miller, the playwright, saying that a good newspaper is basically a conversation with the nation. And so, it's journalists talking to the public. But at the moment, in the last few decades, that just hasn't been the case. It's
journalists talking at the public.
Talking at the public. Talking down, really. I think what's happened is we've had the media, journalism, becoming a bit elevated above society and thinking, they're, I guess, better than society, and they play an education role, and they play a role where they need to fix some bad,
intellectual elite, I think, is the two words you're looking for.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, of course, the public's going to, cotton onto that, and they bristle when they're told how to pronounce things, and
what language to use, Bryce.
What language to use, all those things. I mean, no one's going to be surprised when the public get a bit upset with being told what to think and those things. So this shouldn't be surprising in the media, but yes, the media don't really get the message. They all come up with excuse after excuse for why the people
Bryce, I would say even the second bite at the closure of Newshub, it's basically the same stuff we were getting, a month ago, with everyone beating their breast and saying, oh, it's terrible, and the tears. Nothing's really changed. The whole idea of the rescue package was frankly ridiculous if one cared to go and analyse what was going on. And it would seem to me that democracy is going to be fine without Newshub.
Yeah, look, I went to write a column about the latest stuff today, and there was really nothing new to add to it. I mean, yes, there's been developments, but they're kind of just what we knew was happening.
Already, and that was the thing, Bryce. I did exactly the same last night, and I thought, basically, it's a repeat of what we got when the announcements were first made, almost down to the same people wailing and gnashing their teeth, and nothing's changed.
Yes, well, I mean, I'm going to wail a bit and gnash a bit as well.
Why?
Well, because I do still think that we do need these channels.
Why?
Democracy.
There are new channels? New channels will arise?
No, I agree. Look, the more the better, and the growth of...
I mean, sorry, Bryce, have you been in depression about the demise or the so-called or the self-promoted demise of Reality Check Radio? Why hasn't there been any outcry in the media about the loss of diversity from the cookers having a broadcast?
That is a good point. And look, I don't wish reality check radio any ill at all. And I think
I do, because I think they're a bunch of liars and they're cookers. But, I'm just being frank about that.
There's liars and other platforms as well, There's other media outlets that have some disingenuous and crazy people as well. And there's a lot of that in Parliament, So, I do think we need new outlets like the platform, like reality check radio, and some will survive and some won't, and that's just the market, I guess, and that's what's happening with Newshub. And so if people won't watch your TV shows and won't listen to your radio stations, then, and you're not going to, as the media, pay any attention to why that is, then of course this is going to happen. So,
mind you, then we look at TVNZ, people did watch Sunday. People did watch Fair Go, Bryce. And they still got the chop.
Look, I don't know if you used to watch Yes Minister, Yes Prime Minister, that BBC satire from the 80s.
Yep.
And I don't know, there was that lesson in that when the government wanted to cut the public service, and the public service came back and said, okay, well, if you want these things cut, we're going to cut all these good things, And it's kind of an agenda almost.
A blackmail.
You cut the things that the politicians don't want cut, and that is going to be politically unpopular. So you go for the Fair Goes and the Sundays and so
tell you what, you don't cut, Bryce. You don't cut Māori media, do you?